MSB.com, and I've been going through some examples that are available for Kubernetes, and I found on the official Kubernetes GitHub repo a nice example of deploying a guestbook. So I'd like to go through this example with you and try to use the MSB interface to explain what is happening at each moment. I'm going to link this example in the description, and you can follow through if you want on your own on a local machine, or just go to msb.com and clone the repo, and you can do the same things that I'm doing. So in this scenario, we'll be deploying a small guestbook that's going to read and store data from a Redis cluster. The Redis cluster will have a few slaves and a master, and let's see what happens. So we're going to go through the example, and as the first step, they want us to deploy a Redis master controller, JSON. So let's have a look what's in there first. So we see that it's a replication controller with a standard metadata, and you can see in the spec field we want one replica of a pod that has one container that's running Redis 2.8.23. And it's opening a port on the container at standard 6379. So let's apply this and see what's gonna happen. So if we deploy this replication controller, we can now see that on the cluster, so this part of MSB is actually a live representation of what's happening on your Kubernetes cluster. So we can see that there's a replication controller called Redis Master, and it has one pod running this one container. So we can see that the events that were happening are this whole spec has been assigned, the controllers have started pulling the image, and it's been deployed. We can even have a look a bit closer into the spec of the actual pod. What is happening here. So a lot of these things, we go through it in various lessons on MSB, and it's not very important for you now. But the key part is that it is running one container with the image Redis 2.8.23. So, okay, the next step that they want us to do is to create a Redis master service. So this pod is now running, the port is open on the pod itself, but on the container itself, but it's very hard to connect to it, to the actual port. And for that, we use a Kubernetes concept object called a service. So if we look at what we're going to deploy now, we are going to deploy something that has that's called a service, and it is going to route traffic to the port 6379 of whatever has these selectors. And in our case, these selectors are available on the pod. So you can see that the service is targeting anything labeled with app, Redis, and role master. And here we will be able to see that this pod actually has these labels, app, Redis, and role master. So let's deploy this pod, this service. Here we can now see the service is being deployed. It's already recognized one endpoint that is going to target this pod. One of the things with MSB that you can do now, you can see that this port is open. Let's have a look actually at the spec of the port. So you can see protocol TCP, port 6379, and target port is the Redis server port. One thing that you can do with MSB is actually if you click here, an actual HTTP response will be sent, but obviously Redis does not recognize the HTTP protocol. Okay, the next step that we're going to do is create two Redis slaves. So the principle is the same, it's just that, and we will show that later. Let's have a look at it. So name is a Redis slave, the image is the standard Redis slave image, and let's deploy it and see what happens. In this case, if we have a look, we can see that the replication controller is expecting two pod pods to be active, and currently 0 are active. They're still pulling the images, as you can see from the events here. It should be, yes, everything has started. And they will now connect actually through this Redis master service to the actual Redis master pod. And the way to verify that will be by running the actual guestbook later. So currently we have the Redis master exposed, but the Redis slaves are not exposed. So the guestbook service will, the guestbook app will actually be reading from the Redis slave. So what we need to do now is deploy the Redis slave service. So if we can again have a look at the file. It's a standard service, standard ports are exposed, but what's important to note is that these selectors are different now. So if you look at the Redis slave, you can see that the labels available there are app Redis and role slave. And these are the key selectors that are going to point all the traffic to these two pods. So let's create it. Now we have a Redis slave service, and you can see that actually it's already recognized these two pods as the targets for where to route the traffic. Now, as the final step, actually one of the two final steps, we have to create an actual the guestbook app. So let's just deploy. So this is a custom app that's being made just for the purposes of this demo. It's running actually 3 instances of the guestbook app to which we will now route to. Again, the standard pattern that you can see emerging. Let's see now. If we check the current replication controllers that are in the namespace, you can see guestbook, Redis master, Redis slave. These are the 3 replication controllers running. If we check services that are running, you can see Redis master and Redis slave services that are routing traffic. Again, the same issue is not a proper HTTP response can be parsed by Redis. And now the next step is to actually create the guestbook service, and this one is actually interesting. So let's have a look at it. So this service actually has a type of load balancer, and a load balancer is a special type of service that will actually allow us to expose whatever we deploy to the outside world. In this case, we are running on GKE, so it will actually create a GKE load balancer, and we will be assigned an IP through which we can access it. So if we have a look, again, the pattern, most important thing about services are these selectors, and you can see that the thing that we will be targeting, these pods have a label at guestbook. You can check the pod and see that these are the actual labels. So now for the cool part. Let's deploy the service. So this is a special type of service. You can also see that 3 pods have been matched to it, and the special part about it is that, let's get, is that actually now you can see that the external IP has a status of pending. So we have to wait a bit for the GKE to create it. Let's actually, we can check it here, but it will be visible in the details view on the right. But we can also just watch until this changes to pending. So once from pending, once this changes, we'll be able to access it from the outside. But now we can see that if we send a service, a request, a HTTP request, we actually get the HTML that we've been expecting to get. Obviously, this is now just a raw output, and pretty soon it will look. You can open it in the browser. Okay. We've been assigned the external IP, so here we can see the IP is assigned. And let's open it actually in a new tab for 3000. Let's go out from the full screen view. And we have our guestbook open, so now we can see that if we write something, it's going to be persisted. Let's say even if we refresh, okay, you can see Kubernetes is great. It's been persisted there. So this is the guestbook that's running them. So a few things that we can do. Let's say what's important in this kind of pattern is that the Redis slaves are connecting to the Redis master. So one of the things you can do with replication controllers is, let's say, kubectl scale. So we want 4 replicas. So we'll now create 2 new Redis slaves, and it's gonna just increase the number of pods, and things should work as expected. You can see that the Redis slave service has recognized the new endpoints. Everything is working, should be working as expected. Let's go to the guestbook, and Kubernetes is great. If we can now, through the guestbook, look at the actual info that the Kubernetes gives us, and you should be able to see, yeah, connected slaves, 4 slaves, because we just increased them. One thing we cannot do is increase the number of Redis masters, because service will basically just round robin the requests through them, and it will just confuse the whole protocol, and it will not work as expected. We can increase the number of guestbooks. The service will just route to a new pod. All the requests are stateless, and data should flow as expected. So thank you for watching. This has just been a short overview of this example. I'm going to link it in the description so you can follow along yourself. I hope this kind of explained what is going on in the background of Kubernetes as we deployed this basic example. Thank you.